How many of you would like to become a better evaluator? Just better, huh? How many of you want to become a good evaluator? Here's my question to you, the real question. Do you know what a good evaluator is? Turn to somebody now, whoever's next to you, and tell them what you think makes a good evaluator. Okay? A good evaluator. Turn to someone, 30 seconds. Go on.
English, please. What is a good evaluator?
Okay, give the other person a chance to speak.
Constructive feedback.
Yo,
Cannot hurt our feeling one because our heart is so fragile.
so fragile.
So fragile, we're broken and
Drama.
Very nice. Turn to your friend, give him a high five, and say thank you. Okay, so what makes a good evaluator? Who's got something? A good evaluator. Give me one quality that's necessary, you think?
Honesty.
Honesty. You all prepared to be honest? Is honesty a tough one?
Yes.
Is it possibly the toughest one?
yes.
But must a good evaluator be honest?
Yes.
We can talk about honesty a little later. Thank you. Very nice. What else? What else must a good evaluator have, in your opinion? Just give me a dimension. Yes. A bit louder. All right. The thing I couldn't do just now, right? I couldn't hear you. Good at listening.
Observation.
Good at listening and observation. That's two. Okay. That, in fact, those two are actually one. We'll see why in a moment. But listening is observation, in my opinion. You listen with your eyes as well as your ears. You listen with your senses. If you listen with just your ears, it's not enough. Thank you for that point. Very nice. Observation. What else? Yes?
Encouragement and motivation.
Wow. How many of you have ever encouraged the speaker when you gave an evaluation? Difficult, right? You said things like good job and all that kind of stuff, right? And you know that that's not actually encouraging. That is command V, huh? Cut and paste, huh? Thank you. Encouraging. Would you like to learn how the language of encouragement today? You'd like to learn that one? Okay, we'll get to that now. Thank you. Very nice. Anything else? One more.
Constructive feedback.
Constructive feedback. Constructive feedback means,
Can help to improve.
so it means you've spotted something and then
You provide
you say how it can be better.
Yes.
Did you all follow what she said?
Yes.
Okay, you spotted something, right? So you delivered your criticism, but you have also delivered how it can be better. How it can be worded better. Would that be useful to a speaker? Right? How it can be phrased better. How it can be clearer. How it can be more understandable. How it can have more impact. Would that be all useful things to learn? Are those things you want to learn today? Oh, y'all want a lot, huh? Okay. I'll keep that in mind then. Okay, very nice. Now, turn to your partner, your friend, and tell them one or two dimensions of a good evaluation. Good evaluation. What constitutes, what makes a good evaluation? What are some of the dimensions that a good evaluation must have? You understand what I'm asking you? A good evaluation, not a good evaluator, but a good evaluation. Okay, 30 seconds. give your friend a chance to say something?
how you put up with the stuff you have to get done so that you continue. And what's the thing that is not happening? So that you
No answer.
Okay,
Let's tell
we're
me.
going to give your friend a high 10 and say you are very talented. Okay, what's different? Who's got something that maybe a little different than what we heard before? A little different to what we heard before. Tell me, is what we heard before and what you discussed essentially the same thing?
Yes.
A good evaluation should be honest. It should have. It should tell you. It should reflect to you what was observed, right? It should not reflect to you some reality that wasn't on stage. Fair enough. It should reflect to you what was observed. That's the honest part. It should contain some reconstruction, perhaps, of some of the stuff that you did, reconstructed to be better. Will you say that? It's fair enough? Okay, so it should have some of these things. How many of you have delivered an evaluation that contained these things? How many of you have heard an evaluation that contained these things? How many of you have a sense that these things are very rare? Very rare. We're talking diamonds here, you know. And yet in every meeting, for every speech, there is an evaluation. And but what I'm hearing now, and you are not different from other audiences, okay? What I'm hearing now is that you don't see these gems often. Is that right? You don't see these gems often. What do you see often? What do you see often? What do you see when someone comes up here to evaluate? First of all, what do you hear? What's the first thing that comes out of their mouth, usually?
Good job.
Thank you. Yes, good job.
congratulations.
Exactly. Do you ever hear, I enjoyed your speech? Yeah. Every speech is enjoyable. It's amazing. It's magic, right? Every speech somehow enjoyable to at least one person, the evaluator. It's amazing. Sometimes we don't see reality reflected up here, in evaluation. Would you say that's fair? I'm not trying to be horrible, okay? I'm just trying to get a picture of what we normally get. Sometimes we don't see a reflection of reality from the evaluator. There's reasons for this, and it's reasons that it's useful to understand, particularly if you are that evaluator. And of course, because you all want to improve, it's useful to understand why it's difficult to be honest. In fact, I would say this: what is the one thing an evaluator must do? The one job. Out of all the things that an evaluator must do, what is the one job they really must do? And this job is the hardest job. What is the hardest thing for an evaluator to do? To tell the truth. Yeah. I'll tell you a story, and it's true. I was at a Toastmasters contest, district level. The test speakers evaluation contest. I was just amongst the audience, amongst I think 400 other adults. The test speaker came up, a young chap. Nothing wrong with being young. Well, there is, but never mind. Nothing wrong with being young. Nothing wrong with being young. But he got up there and he proceeded to deliver a speech for the contestants. Okay, you all get the picture? Okay. So his speech was about how to conquer something that most people find difficult to conquer. That is fear. How to conquer fear. Follow me? Okay, so he's young, and he's speaking to a group of 400 adults, most of them older than him, and he's talking about how, through his 4-step FEAR acronym, you can conquer fear. What's the problem with that? If you were an evaluator, what's the problem with that? Would you see a problem with that? The choice of speech is a problem, no? potentially a problem. Doesn't have to be. What's the problem? What do you think? Well, what's half the problem? Give me half the problem.
Most of the audience already know the field.
Most of
Better
all,
than him.
okay, that's the point, right? Most of the audience already know stuff better than him, particularly real stuff. Okay? Real stuff, like fear. Most of them. That's not to say that he is not qualified to deliver, but he did need to do one thing. As an evaluator, you must be able to reconstruct or construct something for him to improve on. What do you think he could have improved on? One thing he could have improved on, just knowing what you know about the speech. That he was speaking to an adult audience older than him, most of them. That he was speaking about a topic which they knew more about than him, or maybe they didn't know more about, but they have experienced more, because every day you live also you something to be afraid of, right? What do you think the evaluator should have recommended to him to change in his speech? Change the whole speech? That's one option. Let's put that option aside. Stay with the speech. What could he have changed? How to? How to deliver?
Because the audience are people that are older than him, so have experienced more than him.
Yes.
So maybe he can deliver in a manner in saying that this is my experience and I'm sharing with you all. So I'm sharing how I conquer my fear. Instead of making it generally how you conquer fear for everyone to suit every situation.
Do you all hear what he said? You hear what he said or not? He said exactly the thing the speaker needed to solve the problem. This is precisely what the speaker needed to do to solve the problem. As an evaluator, you must be able to see this stuff. What you said, I'll summarize. If I'm wrong, correct me, please. He said that the speaker should have gone up there and said, I'm going to share with you how I conquered my fear. Blah, 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 blah. If that can help you, great. You all see the difference now? Rather than saying, I'm going to show you today how you can conquer your fear using my FEAR acronym. You know what I mean? Sorry, I should do it properly now. I'm going to show you how you're going to. So, you know, thank you. Give him a hand. If you included that in your evaluation, that would qualify, in my book, as a good evaluation. It would qualify, absolutely. I mean, given that the rest of it is also meaningful. Because that's the point, isn't it? You could tell him how to correct the way he walks on stage. You could tell him how to correct his gestures. You could tell him every technicality you can think of. Everything. Nothing would change the fact that he didn't address his qualification to speak on this topic. He's not a qualified psychologist. He can't tell you how to fix your fear, but he can tell you something he was afraid of recently and how he got over it. That's a fair enough approach. As an evaluator, you must be able to think like this. You all okay? Follow me or not?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Do you want me to break this down? Because I think I'm going to break this down into the 3 skills of evaluation. Because that's the topic today, right? Today I'm going to tell you the 3 skills of evaluation. You like that? Okay. First skill. Sorry, I use the word skill. It's not really skill is a marketing thing, okay? It's not really a skill. It's a thing, okay? It's called a thing. The first thing in evaluation, the first skill of evaluation is what to observe. Yes? What do I observe? There's a whole speech, 7 minutes long. Observe everything, of course. But what is it that I observe? And more importantly, what do I ignore? That's how I approach it now. What do I observe and what do I ignore? Who's going to get us started with what to observe? Are you evaluators, experienced ones? What's one thing you observe in a speech? When you listen to a speech, what's one thing you are conscious of? One thing. Are you conscious of the way they use their body? Do you comment on how they use their body? Do you comment on their gestures? Do you comment on their eye contact? Do you comment on their voice projection, vocal variety? Do you comment on these things? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, you do, right? So obviously you observe these things. Okay, so you observe the technicalities. This is what I'm calling them, the technicalities of public speaking. Fair enough. I would say the observation of technicalities would be level 1 evaluation. Level 1. Some of you, I would say most of you are probably level 1. Some of you level 0, I know, but some of you level 1. Hey, I was level 0 at one point. Everyone starts somewhere, right? Some of you, you walk into a Toastmasters room, most of the Toastmasters would be level 1 evaluation. Are there more levels? Yes. How many more? Today I give you 3. Okay? 3 skills, 3 levels. Are there more? I don't know. I'm level 3. And when you're at a level in life, life does not warn you that there's more levels. It just lets you make mistakes and then you find out. You follow what I'm saying? So I don't even know if there's more levels. There probably are some. There might be somebody in the room who is more than level 3 that can tell us all, actually there's a level 4. And I would like to learn that. But let's just say we start at level 1. Okay? Level 1 is you already know what you observe. You observe the eye contact, the gestures, the vocal variety, things like that. Okay? You're comfortable with that? You can see this stuff? Fine. That's level 1. My question is, how do we get to level 2 with that, right? How do we get to level 2? We want to become a little bit better. What I do is I don't do the technicalities anymore, unless something is glaring. Something is so glaring that because you're the speaker, you have to tell them that, hey, you scratch your stomach all the time, but better stop doing that. Because it just highlights how long your fingers are and how big your stomach is. So if something really is a technical problem, please, you must say it. You must say it. Okay? You are the mirror. They rely on you. You must say it. If there's some glaring technicality that they need to address, if the voice is way too soft and it's consistently too soft, you must mention things like that. Why? Here's the why. And this is for those who seek to become better evaluators. You must understand the why. Okay? Here's the why. You pick the thing that will affect the next speech, that will affect the audience's ability to understand in the next round. Is it important for an audience to understand speech? Yes. It can be a wonderful song and dance, but the audience doesn't understand what's the point, right? It's a speech, it's not a song and a dance. Okay? It's a speech. Communication. It's important that the audience gets what's being said. And if something gets in the way of that, point it out, please. You'll follow me? Okay? So if doing the glasses constantly throughout the speech, or something that really gets in the way, that can be changed, please do not point out grammar. Please don't. Why? You think your criticism of their grammar will change them for the next speech? They've been struggling with grammar for 25 years now. Going through, good education and all. 12 years old. Your criticism of their grammar will not help them. Okay? So don't bother. Don't even bother. That's one thing to ignore. Ignore the things that people have been struggling with all their lives, like grammar. If you're going to point something out, it should be something that they can fix for the next speech. Okay? Okay, you follow me so far? Okay, good. The thing to really look out for when you're watching a speech, there's hundreds of things, okay? But there's things that, I like this, I like that, I like this, I like that. Yes, you can. I'm going to share with you the stuff that I do. I look for one thing and one thing only. And in almost every evaluation I do, it has served me well. Because there is one thing that we do badly as Toastmasters when we give our speeches. There's many things we do badly. But there's one thing that consistently across maybe 98% of speeches, maybe not so many, but a lot of speeches are. And if you focus on that, you're in. You've got stuff to talk about. Is that fair enough? Let's use brain strategy. You figure out what everyone has a problem with, and you focus on that one. Then there's something to talk about. Anyone know what that thing is? Want to guess what that thing is? There's one thing that's done quite badly, or not done at all. And if it's not done at all, it's done badly, in my opinion. And it's not waving hands, it's not eye contact, and it's not how you stand on stage. It is are you going to write this down? The structure of the speech. Almost always the structure is poor or non-existent. Have you ever sat through a speech which you didn't understand things because maybe it was langkabut? It was all over the place. You did not know, halfway through you still don't know, what is the point of the speech? Have you sat through a speech where you didn't know what's the point of the speech even halfway through? You have, right? Have you been the one giving that speech? You have also, right? Yeah, I know. I have as well. I've given speeches with halfway through. I'm sure people are wondering, what is the point of what he's saying, Do you ever want to be in that position as a speaker? No. So as an evaluator, feel that pain for your speaker. You don't want the speaker to be in that position for the next round, right? You don't want them to be confusing audiences for the rest of their lives. You can fix this now and fix it quick. Structure. Okay, first of all, do you know what I'm talking about when I talk about structure? You must know, okay? Maybe as Toastmasters, we have to know. CC what?
Do.
How to organize your speech. That's structure. What's the first thing the speech must have? What must it open with? Really, in the first paragraph. The first paragraph must pretty much end with one thing. Do you know what that is?
Message.
See, if you don't know, then how are you going to evaluate? You know what I mean? If you know, you can say it, right? If you don't know, how are you going to feedback to the speaker? So I'm going to tell you now, since in your mind, some of you, maybe it's blank, okay? The first paragraph must end with the message. Clear? The promise, the message, maybe even the lesson. Example, today, blah, 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 blah. How many of you, okay, opening question, all right. So today, I'm going to share with you the 3 skills of evaluation. Boom, that's my message. Is everyone clear about that? Now you are settled in your emotions to take in some detail. Have you ever listened to a speech where they start with detail and you don't know what they're talking about? Yes. Every meeting, right? I know. Help your friend, really. Help your friend. And they will help you. And together you will grow. And then fly. Then when you fly, that one, you can fly, but no one taught you how to crash. Never mind. Fly is okay. Okay, so you got that? Following message. Okay, so as an evaluator, okay, following message, you look out for the actual, how many point structure? How many point structure is recommended in a speech?
3.
3. Okay, those of you who don't know the number, it is a magic number. Really, there's no such thing as magic numbers, but this one is a magic number. Just like there's no such thing as magic words. So you ask me, oh, what can I say to make my evaluation better? There's no magic words. Really, there's no magic words. I'm serious. It's how you deliver it now. If you love someone and you say, I hate you, they know what you're saying. They know you're saying you love them. So even the words I hate you means I love you. So there's no magic words. It's delivery. Okay, so the magic number is 3, not 4. Really. You are not the exception, please. Not 5. I sat through one from a newbie. I think it was CC something. I don't know what it was. 10 points. 10 points. But we're all very polite, so keep quiet and clap at the end. We have the meeting half an hour later. 10 points, Don't do that to the audience, You might know 10 things about your subject, yes. But does that mean you have to take the 10 things and dump it all on your people? It doesn't. Give them 3. 1, to get them excited. 2, so they can start to be satisfied. And 3, to round it all off. Done. Finished. And you're out. Okay? 3, please. Don't break this rule, Magic rule. Okay? The same goes with love, 3 girlfriends, that's it. I'm kidding, 30 is okay. What you're going for, what you're really going for with this, with the structure, right? Or with anything that you observe, what you're going for is it clear? Okay? Is the structure clear? So you're going to comment on the structure. Maybe the structure is there, but maybe it's not so clear. Why? Maybe because the message was so long, we're not sure what it really meant. And maybe the points were also so long that it didn't become a heading, it became a paragraph. Do you see what I'm saying? So the 3 points are actually the 3 titles for the 3 paragraphs that follow. But maybe the title is so long, that the point is so long that it becomes the paragraph. You need to point that out. Why not? Point it out. They may not be aware. Okay? If the message is not clear, comment on it. If the titles are not clear, or if they are not understandable because somehow they're picked wrongly, comment on that. Okay? I'll tell you how to comment later on. You all want to know how to comment, huh? Or you just want to criticize like your mother criticized you. You realize that when you just criticize and people are hurt, it's your mother's voice, not yours. No, really. Then you just from here to here. In other words, you're not in control of your evaluation. Stay in control. Don't let your mother evaluate the person. Okay. Hi, Mom. My mom's gonna watch the video, so. You ask questions. Was it clear? Was it clear enough? Clear means that was it understandable? Another way for clarity is, was it brief? In other words, was it was there an economy of words, or was it just a jungle of words? Hey, I think your title, you need an economy of words, not a jungle of words. You can say that. Why not? What's wrong with that? You're not trying to be mean, but you're trying to paint them a picture a little bit. That's too many words, one. Okay? Now, you're not going to leave it there, but we'll talk about what happens after you say things like this. After you deliver the criticism, we'll talk about what you say next, because someone mentioned encouragement, right? You mentioned encouragement. Okay. Do you all want to learn how to say that second part so that it encourages them? Okay. This is without saying good job and all this kind of stuff, okay? Okay, we'll learn that in a moment. So you talk about whether it was understandable, or to what degree it was understandable. Say, actually, I think if you shorten your title, shorten your message, it can be clearer and therefore more understandable. Okay? Then, of course, you have to add on the encouragement part. We'll talk about that in a moment. But you deliver the truth, and then you add on the thing that will lift them, because sometimes the truth will bring them down. Okay, sometimes. Especially if you are a mean person like me. You really bring people down. Okay. You can also comment on whether or not it was impactful. Okay? So you can say, hey, your message, I can see how it's important, but it lacked impact. And then you suggest how maybe you want them to change it so that it becomes impactful. So clarity, brevity, impact. Don't you read these 3 words? That's my slogan for my business. Clarity, brevity. You know what brevity is? Brief, right? Brief. Economy of words. Not 10 words to say a 2-word thing. Okay? Not 100 words to say a 5-word thing. Economy of words. Clarity, brevity, impact. These are the 3 big things that I use when I comment on someone's stuff. They warn you this is advanced, so I'm not going to give you the baby stuff and give you the real thing. Okay? Okay, let's move on. Level 2. You're all level 1, and I think you're level 1, you are, if you can pick up those things, already very good. So you know what, I did mention what not to look at, right? What not to observe, technicalities. Generally speaking, ignore the technicalities, unless something is really a big problem, ignore them. Go with the structure, okay? That's what I would suggest. Now, Level 2. Level 2 is very quick, very easy. You can move on to level 3 very soon after level 2. Level 2 is what to talk about. Why do I say what to talk about? Because you've written down, right? As an evaluator, you've written down 99 things. You've spotted a lot of stuff. A4 page also tak cukup. Other side. Then you realize you're recycling and outside printed with something. Problem. 99 things, you know. Okay? Why? Because you're clever already, what? You can spot many things, so spot lah, right down. Now here's the problem. How many minutes do you have up here? 2 to 3, okay? That's not really important. You know what's really important is how much feeding can your speaker take from you? That's what's important. Is there such a thing as you have a buffet, but you eat everything on the buffet? Got or not? You do? Oh my. I salute you for getting your money's worth. No? I go to buffet, I choose 5 things or 3 things, and that's it. No? So I never go to buffet. You know what I mean? There's a buffet and it has 200 things on it. Do you eat everything on the buffet? You don't. You pick and choose. So now you have a buffet. 99 things that you could talk about. And what are you going to do next? Before you get up there, you're going to pick and choose. And you're going to use the magic number again. 3. Pick and choose 3. Okay, you pick and choose 3 means you are ready to elaborate on 3. Doesn't mean you talk about 3. If you talk about 1, if it's so important, 1 is enough. But have 3. It's just wiser that way. Have 3 ready. And there's another reason to have 3, I'll tell you in a moment. So have 3 things. Doesn't have to be 3 things that are wrong, you know. It could be, I mean, some of you are, you think, okay, sandwich method, 2 plus 1, you know what I mean? 2 positive, 1 negative. You think like that, it's fine. But when you get up here, you talk about 3 things. 2 things you like, 1 thing that can be improved. 1 thing you like, 2 things that can be improved. And if you're not in a contest you will be kicked out very soon. If you do 0 things you like and 3 things to improve. Okay? When I use my 3 minutes up here, it's always things to improve. I don't care. I care for what? I care for that the person gets some value out of the 3 minutes. That's what I care about. I don't care that they have to like me. You don't have to like me, you know. I evaluate you so that there's some development for you, not because I want you to like me. You know.